guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below. I film a ton of videos on like motherhood, lifestyle, beauty videos, and we have been vlogging a lot more lately. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see any of those. I'm going to just jump right into the video. Today's topic is going to be on how I got my daughter to sleep in her crib. When my daughter was 3 months old, I literally got to a point where I was just like, she needs to be sleeping in her own room. I cannot co-sleep with her anymore. And my husband was sleeping on the couch because he was afraid to co-sleep with her. I wasn't necessarily afraid of co-sleeping with her, but I just feel like I really didn't get much rest because subconsciously I knew she was in the bed with me, so I didn't like get to move around and turn the way that I normally would. So after 3 long months of co-sleeping with her, I decided to crib train her. I got on YouTube, I Googled, and just looked for a bunch of different information and articles on crib training babies and sleep training babies. She was very unfamiliar with her nursery, and we weren't even like changing her diapers or anything on her changing table. Like, we were just doing everything either in our room or in the living room because those were the 2 places that her and I were at the most. So what I started to do a few days before I was going to put her in her crib was just started to hang out in her room, started to use her changing table, started putting her in her crib while I cleaned her room, and just different things like that, just so that she could be familiar with it and it wasn't like an unfamiliar place. And after doing that for like 2 or 3 days, just to kind of get her familiar with her room, I decided to kind of do a variation of the cried out method. So I put her in her crib one night, and it was like, I think it was about 9 p.m. and she had a complete fit. She was like crying hysterically, and she just like got really sweaty, and she was so upset. And once I did that, I was just kind of like, oh my god, I can't do the cried out method. I can't like let her cry, because it was saying like every day they'll cry less and less, but I just couldn't leave her in there to cry for so long. So I did that for one night, and she didn't end up falling asleep. I ended up having to take her out and hold her for like 30 minutes, and she ended up like getting herself together and just, you know, kind of, you could tell that she was like upset that I let her cry, because I seriously never let her cry up until that point. Like, whenever she made the slightest peep, I ran to her and I picked her up. So I had to hold her that night for like 30 minutes, and then she finally fell asleep, and I just gave in. I didn't even put her in her crib, and I put her in bed with me. The next night I was like, okay, let's try this again, and I put her in her crib, and she cried, and I timed it for about 5 to 8 minutes, and then it just went silent, and I like freaked out. I was just like, what happened? Why is she not crying? Why is she not making any noise? And I went into her room, sound asleep. And every single day after that, it went down from like 8 minutes to 5 minutes, 5 minutes to 3 minutes, and then finally like 2 minutes. And ever since then, she's been sleeping in her room. Now that she sleeps in her nursery, she doesn't wake up as much at night. There's some nights where she sleeps all the way through the night, and then there's other nights where she will wake up once to feed. It just kind of depends on the circumstances when she falls asleep. I can tell by how much she eats before she falls asleep if she's going to wake up or not, and how early she's going to wake up. So right now she goes to bed around 9:40 or 10 p.m. and she wakes up at about 7:30, which to me is awesome. And if she does wake up in the middle of the night, it'll be around 3 o'clock. She'll drink her 4 ounces of formula, and she will go right back to sleep until 7:30. So that's definitely not bad, especially for a 4-month-old. And now that I have my bed back and my husband and I are able to sleep in our bed and be comfortable, that's also a really big plus. So yeah, for us, it really wasn't something that was super difficult. I think that we made it more difficult. We were more attached and worried about her sleeping on her own and all those types of things than she really was. And now that she's getting bigger, I think that she just really enjoys having her own bed, having her own space, because she is rolling over and everything. So I really would not have felt comfortable with her sleeping in my bed at this point, and she's a little over 4 months now. So I think that we did it at a perfect time. This is just what we did. This is what worked for us, and she's also a very big baby, so she's about 17 pounds now, and she can't fit in her bassinet or bassinet, however you pronounce it. And like I said, I feel like she would definitely be like rolling all over the bed and rolling off. There's no way she could be in the bed with me anymore. So I'm so glad that we got her crib trained and she's acquainted with her room and she loves her room. And I just think you have to do what works for you. If cry it out is something that you feel you could not do at all, then don't do it. You know, some people love co-sleeping, but co-sleeping was not for us. And I think that with the next baby, we'll definitely crib train around this 3-month mark. Or just crib train like very early on so they're very familiar with it, because I think she was very smart and she's just very advanced and able to grasp the concept that this was her room, she was going to sleep in her room, and she just got used to it super quickly. So yeah, that was our experience with crib training and sleep training and all of that good stuff. And hopefully this video will give you some like insight and ideas to our story, what we went through, what helped us. And I will like link a few videos below that I watched that kind of made me feel more comfortable with starting the crib training and sleep training and all of that stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe.